Welcome everyone to the next generation of productive hauling, featuring the new CAT 785 mining truck. I'm Dana Anderson, your moderator for today's session. Thank you for your interest in our program, and more importantly, thank you for your commitment to learning more about CAT products and services and how we can support you in your operations. We have a lot of great content, so let's get rolling. So let's quickly go over the agenda. We'll start off with an introduction from Steve Pangburn, our Global Sales Manager for Large Mining Trucks. Then we will cover the topics listed here, and we'll wrap up with a question and answer session. Our team will be monitoring the questions coming in, so please feel free to type in your questions throughout the program, and we will get to those at the end of the webinar. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Steve.
Thanks, Dana, and hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. As Dana said, I am Steve Pangburn, Global Support Manager for Large Mining Trucks. Honored to be a steward of this wonderful product line. And with us today, Matt Baum, who is our expert on 785, and Josh Meyer, our expert on truck bodies. So I will quickly set the stage and then get out of the way so you can hear from the experts. We always start with safety. It is the most important thing we do in our factories. That is very clear to us, and I know it is at your mine sites as well. So our motto is safely home, everyone, every day. Again, that's the most critical thing we do. And for that, we design it into our products. So you can see in our trucks, we have camera systems, object detection, driver safety systems to combat fatigue. Those are all very important features, and you'll hear Matt talk more about those as we go through the session today. So getting right down to it, as we sat down to design the next generation of haul trucks, specifically the 785, we reflected on a 3+ decade journey and hundreds of millions of hours operating in various applications all over the world. And what that means to us is learning. When you learn, you can improve. And, so we sought to deliver leading class, world-class safety, productivity, reliability, and operating cost. But we also took the step to hold focus groups and sit down with customers and operators before designing the new 785. We conducted several focus group sessions with customers and operators to ask what they wanted to see in the next generation of trucks. We asked questions, we incorporated the feedback, and at the end of the day, we asked ourselves, where does it really start? I like this slide here. You can see the operator. It begins with the operator. We heard you loud and clear. And we firmly believe that a more comfortable operator is a more productive operator. Working alongside us, those truck operators provided valuable input and shared their feedback open and honestly with us. And the result we're very excited to share with you today is a state-of-the-art environment designed for efficiency, equipped with features that increase operator comfort, automate functions, and boost confidence. Let's watch a quick video featuring the new 785 to get us going this morning, and we'll watch it in action, and Matt will take us through some of those features.
What a great video. So as Steve mentioned earlier, We listened, we learned, we collaborated with operators, and we'll continue to do so as we roll out the new features in the future. Now let's get into some of the key areas that we heard were important to customers when designing this new truck. The next generation of productive hauling focuses around these key areas. And if we had to pick one word to describe our design philosophy, it would be the word optimized. We've optimized the operator environment, making it safer and more comfortable. We've optimized the operator experience, making it more intuitive, more consistent, and more predictable. We've optimized electronics and connectivity to provide faster access to data with streamlined technology integration. And we've optimized maintenance with improved data analytics, new diagnostic capabilities, and modular features with consolidated components to make service faster and easier. We spent a lot of time redesigning the cab, incorporating operator input along the way. So let's take a closer look at this new cab. We designed a walk-through cab with an adjustable center console, increased legroom, deluxe adjustable seat, cab filtration, and a 360-degree surround view camera to create a safer, more comfortable ergonomic environment for any operator. Let's take a closer look at that next-gen operator seat too. We know operators spend a lot of time in the cab, which is why we spent so much time designing the seat with all these great features. We offer both a heated and cooled seat option, power controls for lumbar adjustment and leg extension, and other comfort features shown in this illustration. Okay, so we've seen the inside of the truck. Now let's step outside the cab and talk more about how the new CAT 785 is a mining industry game changer. The first CAT 785 was introduced back in 1985 and has been a proven performer on sites around the world with more than 3,000 trucks in the field and counting. Now, the new 785 is the first to deliver the next generation of productive hauling. It was the first Cat mining truck to meet Tier 4 emissions requirements, and now it's the first to combine a game-changing level of efficiency with industry-leading physical availability to deliver the next generation of productive hauling. The foundation for these next-generation improvements is the already proven 785G truck, specifically designed for high production mining applications. The new 785 delivers up to a 5% reduction in cycle times, thanks to options such as larger tires and high horsepower. In addition, the automated functions and controls boost efficiency and shorten the operator learning curve. The Advanced Power Electronics Control Strategy, or APEX we call it, delivers productivity and efficiency improvements that can reduce cycle times. Benefits of APEX vary by application, but most mining applications will see an improvement to the bottom line. More continuous torque and rim pull delivers more power to the ground, makes it possible to use a higher gear on grade for optimal fuel efficiency. Forward momentum and torque are maintained through each shift, with optimum gear selection resulting in faster acceleration. Operators enjoy a more comfortable ride thanks to smoother transitional shifting. Smoother shifting results in less spillage and less haul road maintenance required. A reduction in torque spikes and fewer variations in engine speed that deliver a longer engine life and powertrain component life. We've learned from customers that they like choices to fit their applications and operations, whether in a quarry or working down in a mine. The 785 is offered in a Tier 4 configuration or LRC for lesser regulated countries. We also offer tire options to match your application, plus a more responsive traction control system reduces tire wear and improves machine performance. The E-Series engine provides improved durability along with emissions capability, increased fuel efficiency, and competitive performance while maximizing commonality with engines in the field. The 3500E engines have a more robust MEWEA fuel system than the competition. They are simpler, more reliable, and are easier to maintain and repair, even with using poor quality fuels. Lower rated speed increases fuel efficiency from the 785 to the new 785. This engine is a significant improvement in lower end and top end robustness, resulting in a 20% improvement in cylinder pressure capability. The next generation platform is built for the future, and we're looking ahead to ensure we can deliver new solutions and technology within the existing architecture. We're always looking for new ways to leverage data, automation, technology, analytics, and more. It will be easier to integrate Caterpillar current and future technology solutions on the next generation platform, allowing for certain third-party accommodations as well. For example, a driver safety system that can be installed for enhanced operator safety. This in-cab technology instantly detects and alerts operators the moment fatigue or distraction is identified. The individual components, software, engine, and systems that go inside a Cat 785 truck may serve different purposes. However, they work well together because they all have one very important thing in common. They are all manufactured by Caterpillar and supported by the Cat dealer network. This integration ensures that the entire truck, from tires to transmissions and engines to electronics, can be fully optimized to deliver the lowest cost per ton. This new 785 truck allows you to optimize your operations with more confident and comfortable operators, delivering the productivity you need with the lowest cost per ton for your application. Now I'm going to pass it back to Dana before we move into the value enhancement section of our webinar.
All right, thank you, Matt. What a great presentation. All right, now it's time for an audience participation question. Let's see if you were paying close attention while Matt was speaking. So the question is, what year did the first Cat 785 go into production? And we're asking you to answer this live now. Is it 1980, 1990, 1985, or 1979? Give you just a second to submit your answer. All right. So it looks like the majority of people got it correct. 1985. Nice job. Okay. Now we're going to pass it over to Josh Meyer to talk about the importance of Cat truck bodies and how they can enhance your operations. Josh?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the truck bodies portion of today's program. We're going to talk about how we offer the widest variety of OEM designed application-specific truck body solutions in the industry. We do that with our vertical integration and our virtual validation. Cat bodies consistently meet target payload and outperform competitive bodies in scale studies. They're designed and analyzed as an integral part of the system, the entire vehicle system, and that helps ensure we achieve maximum chassis life. From the design to the materials to manufacture, the entire process meets our Cat standards of high quality with good controls. Truck bodies are the single most critical attachment on the machine. If the body's not correct, you won't get the full value of the machine. This is why it's so important to have a vertical integration with the entire machine. And only Caterpillar can provide that via our comprehensive virtual validation and the fact that we can design the truck and body together as a system. So we've got a very experienced team working on truck bodies at Caterpillar with over 160 combined years of experience. And we've also got numerous examples of working together with customers to develop solutions specific for their application. And some proof of that historical success, you can see there, we've got more than 3,000 MSD bodies produced, 7,000 plus total Cat bodies produced just since 2008, and over 1,600 785 bodies sold since 2008. So more specifically about the bodies, where are we operating? In all the major commodity mining operations globally. We've got support trucks in the oil sands. We've got iron ore machines, precious metals, gold. Why are we there? Because again, we provide the most comprehensive and optimized solution in the market. Again, that vertical integration, we do our virtual and in iron validation. So not only do we test it virtually, we back it up at our proving grounds in iron. Safety, as Steve mentioned there at the beginning, axle splits, we want to optimize that with a 3367 split to ensure we've got proper weight distribution and chassis life. Dump clearance is a consideration, as well as complete overhead machine coverage. And how do we do that? Well, we've got durable standard solutions and highly customized lightweight solutions. So we've got mine-specific site configurations, that'd be your MSD, and we've also got robust and long life versatile option, which would be the dual slope. Both are high quality construction. We have 450 Brunel steel in the base plates. External reinforcement options are available for the MSD body. We produce them in modern and clean factories, and we have high quality standards, as I mentioned before. So a little bit more about the bodies themselves. You can see some basic stats for the standard dual slope and that mine-specific design body. Both are heat ready, meaning you can hook up body heat or not, optionally. The dual slope is a life of chassis body, targeting around 60,000 hours with a rebuild in between. The mine-specific design body is more of a 20,000 hour to what we call decision point, where we'll rebuild or reline it, targeting around 40,000 hours of total economic life. Again, I mentioned we had the built-in carryback reduction features in the MSD body with a curved front transition as well as popped out corners. Both of these two bodies, I should say, are backwards compatible to the previous machines. However, the 785C and D version bodies do not go forward to the next gen platform. So we're trying to sell only next gen bodies that can work on any machine to avoid any confusion with customers swapping bodies in the field. And one other thing, liners are required on that MSD in like 99% of applications. Dual slope, it's a little more optional, but we definitely recommend liners in both to meet those life goals that I mentioned before. So with that, I'll pass this back to Dana, and I thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you for that great information, Josh. Now let's go back to Matt, who will talk about optimized systems and the support you can expect from Caterpillar and your local Cat dealer.
Yeah, thanks again, Dana. With a truck for every site or application, no matter the size class or drive system, and a broad lineup of loading tools, Caterpillar delivers a complete loading and hauling solution that delivers the lowest cost per ton. Trucks and loaders are ideally matched to optimize the loading and hauling cycle. Whether you choose a Cat electric rope shovel, hydraulic mining shovel, or a large wheel loader, a mechanical drive or electric drive Cat truck, you'll find they all have one thing in common: they're Caterpillar, inside and out. From iron to engines, hydraulics to electronics, software to hardware, transmissions to ground engaging tools, systems are fully integrated and work together to deliver optimized performance for your operations. We also work alongside you to achieve maximum value throughout the life of your equipment. Together with our global Cat dealer network, we customize service offerings to provide a maintenance solution that fits your operation. Whether you want to perform the service yourself or need an on-site partner to manage your maintenance program for you. We also have consultants who can help you make smart decisions about buying, operating, maintaining, repairing, rebuilding, and replacing equipment. No one knows more about how to get the most from a piece of CAT equipment than your local CAT dealer. This one-of-a-kind, on-the-ground support network delivers expert service, integrated solutions, after-sales support, fast and efficient parts fulfillment, world-class rebuild, remanufacturing capabilities, and more. CAT dealers operate as local businesses, each one fully embedded and committed to the geographic area it serves. That means you work with people who know your business and will respond on your time frame. With that, let's pass it back over to Steve for some closing thoughts before we begin the Q&A portion of our program. Steve?
Thank you, Matt, and appreciate you and Josh walking through that. Just to wrap it up today, as I started off, we're very excited about this next generation of hauling. The one slide Matt showed that summed up all the customer value benefits in productivity, cycle time, safety, reliability, operator comfort. There's just a lot baked into this product. And we're very confident that as we put it out there, our customers will see the value. So with that, I think we'll enter the Q&A and appreciate everyone's time to be with us to this point.
All right. Thank you, Steve. We are now at the question and answer segment of our program. Just a reminder of the panel of experts we have on the call today. And if you haven't already done so, please submit your questions and we'll get started. And if we run short on time, or our team of experts or your local CAT dealer will follow up with you after our webinar. Okay, so let's get started with a Q&A. All right, we got some coming in here, and I think this one goes to Matt. You mentioned a larger tire option. Why does that matter?
Yeah, thanks, Dana. So a new and large tire option for lower grade applications. So that delivers a higher payload capacity and increased TMPH. So that's a 10 mile per hour limits on the machine. So in essence, you can haul more material per shift with that larger tire option.
All right. Another one, looks like this has to do with cab displays. In the cab image you showed, I saw a couple digital screens. Can you explain the difference?
Yeah, for the in the cab image and the digital screens, the primary display behind the steering wheel is a non-touch screen and serves as the interface for the machine gauge cluster. The secondary display is that is a touch screen that provides a more intuitive operator interface, and it works like a tablet, and it makes it easy for operators to find the information they need.
Great. Looks like another one around maybe the operator. Have you thought about ways to automate the dump cycle?
Yeah, about automating the dump cycle, right? Yeah, we have automated the dump cycle. We're calling it a feature called Auto Hoist. So it does automatically raise the body and controls engine speed. So that's simplifying operation and that's improving your cycle time efficiency, consistency. The Auto Hoist system is integrated in the gear shift lever and transmission controls. So that makes it easy to operate through a common location, has less hand movement. And it makes it possible for the operator to basically set it and forget it as the body is dumped. and in some instances can reduce that cycle time through the cycle.
Okay. This one looks like it might be a pass match question. For the 785, what loading tool do you recommend?
Yeah, loading tools for the 785. Caterpillar offers a few great loading options. For instance, the 994K wheel loader or the Cat 630 or 640 hydraulic shovels. They're all a good match for the 785 truck.
Great. Another one looks like it might be around maintenance. How do I reduce my maintenance costs on this truck?
Yeah, reducing maintenance costs on these trucks. So the Cat 785 was redesigned to reduce time spent on regular maintenance procedures. So we've worked to reduce some key contributors to downtime with features like the new modular HVAC system. And this modular system can be swapped within an hour without the need for a certified HVAC technician on location, and can be serviced better. It can then be serviced off-site or in the shop. Another feature is some remote flash and remote troubleshooting capabilities. So those offer some reduced downtime and also optimizing the machine performance.
Great, thank you for that. It looks like maybe a technology question as well. Can you tell me more about how technology plays a role in this new truck?
Yeah, technology's role in this new truck. So it's now easier to integrate Caterpillar current and future technology solutions onto this next generation platform. So that includes the MineStar applications, such as Fleet, Detect, and Health, and they're easily accessible within that secondary touchscreen display.
All right. Question around, looks like safety. What other safety features are offered on the new 785?
Yeah, the new 785 safety features. So a few things, I'll just mention a few. So the standard LED lighting and LED berm lights obviously helps with the awareness of the work area and at night and for that night operation, of course. And a 2-meter head clearance, so that's from the flat deck to the canopy. So that provides additional headroom for tower operators and maintenance personnel. So I'll just mention those for now, and I think we got other questions coming in as well.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. This looks like it might be for those in maybe colder weather climates. Do you offer additional cold weather options for the 785?
Yeah, cold weather options on this truck. So there are a few things that enable this truck to operate in cold weather. For the operator especially is, the GenTherm heated seat, the heated mirrors to keep them clear, and climate control for the cab. The body heat warms the body to keep the material from sticking to the body. And there's some automatic engine thermal management systems, to name a few cold weather options.
Great. Okay. Let's see. We've got another one. What other controls are available in the cab to help less experienced operators?
Yeah, so for the less experienced operators, getting up to speed is important, and being confident is important. So we have, I'll mention a few, like a hill start assist with anti-rollback. There's an auto hoist that we mentioned. There's some speed limiting controls or cruise control options available. That improves the machine's responsiveness, its controllability. Some other features improve cycle times, and these, I guess these features, we expect them to improve cycle times and reduce operator fatigue, as well as just help them with learning the new machine.
All right. Got another one around service agreements. What kind of service agreements are available for my truck?
Yeah, your local CAT dealer can work with you to provide the support you need. So that can include the customer service agreements or the customer value agreements, and catered to your own specific operations. So the CAT dealer can be your single source for all your service and maintenance needs.
All right. Looking at some of the other ones coming in. One of the question is around autonomy. I don't know if we've got an answer yet for this one. Are there any fully autonomous 785s operating? And if so, what's the fleet size and how many total hours?
Yeah, as far as autonomous operations, the 785 does not have a fully autonomous system ready quite yet. I think in the future that will change, and we expect CAT trucks like the 785 to be able to operate autonomously.
All right. Another one around consumption of diesel. Could we estimate the consumption of diesel per hour?
Yeah, for diesel consumption, I guess I'm not going to be able to come up with numbers off the top of my head. That's certainly information we can provide. Our tanks are sized for, I believe it's at least a 12-hour operation at the very minimum between refuels, and can go quite a bit longer than that depending on application. So hopefully that answers the question about maybe that's the real question, is how many times to refuel during the day. And obviously with the 3500E engine, we're considerably more fuel efficient than the previous models, the 785D truck and the engine that it had. So you can just see continual, you can see the gains compared to those previous models are several percentage points in fuel efficiency improvements.
Yeah, and if I could add on to that one as well, this is Steve. I think some of the questions coming in are around the carbon footprint, and that's really the key point. I think one of your slides showed with that engine, we can be up to 9% more efficient. It will depend on application, but that's a significant chunk of reduction in the carbon space as well.
Okay, another one around technology. Is the technology on board made for MineStar, or also ready for supporting smaller systems like CAT productivity?
Yeah, we're the technology on the next gen trucks obviously can accommodate, or certainly can accommodate, the MineStar systems. As far as third-party systems, I need some help answering some specific questions about third-party systems, but it is capable of having, be able to connect to third-party systems and operate with those. We'd have to talk more specifically about each of those. The cab also has locations for additional mounting of hardware within the cab to accommodate those systems if additional hardware and controllers are needed, as well as some room for some additional displays on the dash if needed. Hopefully that answers the question.
Okay, something maybe similar to that. Any updates to onboard payload measurement systems?
Yeah, payload measurement systems. I think we have made some updates to the system. So all I know about it is that there's continuous improvements in the measurements and the processing and how those measurements on the machine are made and processed, so that we can get that little bit more consistency and accuracy over the previous generation. So that, yeah, there is an improvement, and it should be more consistent and have that little bit more accuracy for those digital displays and load readings.
Okay. This one's more around the loader. What's the best way to choose a loader for the Cat truck?
Yeah, loading for the 785s. We mentioned a few during the presentation. I think we've got some we can work on with you on those, meaning we can do some analysis on your specific applications. And then beyond that, we might perhaps Josh might have some better ideas on which pass matches are best. He's our body guy, and maybe I'll pass it to him to see if he has any more comments on matching.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I think pass match is one of the most important parts there. We want to make sure that we're coming in with a clean number of passes, whether it be 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, to get to the payload that we're looking for. 60-30s, 60-40, as you mentioned, 994, 993, those are all good options. Once we know more about the application, the material density, the size of the rocks, et cetera, any special angle repose that you might have in the body, those things can help us determine what the right bucket size is for those loading machines. And again, it's all about that pass match, coming up with that clean number of passes to be most productive and meet the truck payload that we're looking for.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dana, hang on. I'll add on to that one. Having a specific truck body specialist really helps us out to be consultants in this space and give you the best setup to be the most productive at site. And having, this model's been in our product line for so long. 81% of you got the start date there at 1985. So we've had a loading tool match. We've added the 60-30 and 60-40 match. And if you haven't had an opportunity to get to know the 994K, this is a wonderful opportunity. There's a lot of enhancements in that loader as well.
Thank you for that. I think we've got a few more coming in. This one has to do with haul road maintenance. How can the 785 reduce the haul road maintenance? And please explain the effect to haul road maintenance.
Yeah, we mentioned haul road maintenance in the presentation. What we're pointing out there is simply that that the trucks, with their improved controls and transmissions, we're just expecting a smoother operation from the transmission controls and potentially from the operator itself, so that there's simply just less spillage on the road. And then some of the controls also let us operate without more traction control systems, I would say, so that we can maintain control of the truck on grades, for example, without, spinning, slipping, or any of those sliding conditions. So just between those small improvements, we expect to not beat up the haul road so much and not to be spilling any materials on the haul roads. Good question.
All right, let's see what else we have here. I think this one is around financing. How can we get financing from Cat Financial or a subcontracted company in my region?
So I'll go ahead and field that, Dana. I mean, the answer there for sure is to work through the Caterpillar dealer. And then we have a finance arm that will get involved working with the dealer and representatives all over the world that can help with that. We definitely want to make sure that we're supporting our customers wherever you are to be able to obtain, financing and use the products that we provide to deliver value at your site.
All right. But another one around visibility. Any new visibility improvement options similar to the bird's eye view or radar system?
Yeah, for visibility around the truck, so I think we've maintained the physical ability from the driver's point of view. And then you already mentioned the technology features, which is truly helpful to the operators. So the radar systems, and then the 360 vision system on the secondary display. That's the bird's eye view of the truck that can view what's around the truck with the camera system. And then of course the object detect system is still on the truck so that it can detect a moving object around the truck and turn on the camera where that object is to bring attention to the operators. I guess I think that is our visibility improvements for this generation of our trucks.
Thank you for that, Matt. I think we've got a question for Josh. Can the body come lined from the factory?
Yeah, it definitely can. We've got a number of different options for the MSD. We have 15 different zones with different thicknesses to apply in each of those. So there's endless combinations that we can supply from the factory for the MSD body and then the dual slope as well, but the options are much more limited. It's kind of fully lined or partially lined. So there are options that are available from the factory. If we ship the body in a multiple piece configuration, we'll install as many of the plates as we possibly can, leaving loose the ones that will cover those fields installed in the field after the body is put together into its final configuration. Hope that helps answer your question.
Thank you for that, Josh. Another question. This might be for Steve. Any plans for an AC version of the 785 or electric drive?
Yeah, Dana, I'll field that. I know there's some questions coming in on electrification. Caterpillar, if you look at the broad offerings that we have, we are gaining experience in various energy sources and various applications. And we are keeping an eye on that for the haul trucks as well. So I think you'll see more as we progress through the journey on that. We are committed to helping customers meet their emissions goals. And you can see with this truck, the mechanical drive trucks in this space are the most efficient at this stage, and we can now deliver 9% more efficiency. So we think that is the play in this space at the moment, but we're keeping an eye on the future, although we can't reveal currently our investment and R&D plans. We definitely will be here to support you for the long haul.
Thank you for that, Steve. I think we got another one for Josh. For choosing the dump body type as MSD or DS, what's the requirement needed by CAT to give customers the best selection of dump body?
Oh, that's a great question. So there are a few things that go into it. The first thing you want to consider is what is the customer's goal? So are we looking for long life, low maintenance? Are we trying to maximize payload and willing to accept a little bit more maintenance throughout the life cycle? So if you're looking for long life, low maintenance, probably going to lean towards a dual slope. If we're looking for payload and optimization in that route, we're going to look at the MSD. And then the next most important factor is probably the density of material. The MSD's base size is larger than the dual slope with sideboards. So if you've got very dense and heavy material, in order to avoid a significant overload issue, we may look for the smaller volume of the dual slope to line up better with that. And In addition to that, I'll mention the higher density materials do tend to be bigger and chunkier and probably warrant a dual slope from a durability perspective anyways. But those are probably the most important basic steps we look at are what is the customer's goal, life or payload, and then we start to look at the density. And then we've also got a mine site profile sheet available on dealer.cat.com that once filled out gives us pretty much all of the information that we need to provide the optimized recommendation, or at least a couple options to start the conversation and determine what's the best route going forward.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh. Another one that's kind of related to that mechanical electric powered conversation. What can differentiate these mechanical trucks from electric powered competitors?
Yeah, I'll mention one thing versus the electric powered systems. In this size class, we expect that, or we've actually measured that the overall weight of the truck, and we think that's a big difference maker for the operations of mine sites. So with our mechanical drive trucks, we believe we have a considerable weight advantage of the machine itself. And that weight advantage, can be converted into efficiency and speed for hauling uphill or anywhere around the mine, and also directly to payload. So we believe that we have, we've actually measured against some of the electric drive competition that we have, like I said, a payload advantage, a weight advantage, resulting in speed on grade and overall performance and efficiency of the mine.
So you mentioned payload. That's actually a good transition into this next question. Is the 10-10-20 applicable on these models? So our payload policy?
Yeah, nothing has changed as far as payload policy on this truck compared to any other LMT models. So yes, still the same 10-10-20 payload policy on this truck as any of our LMT models.
Yeah, and just to add on to the efficiency conversation that Matt was going down there, in this size class, Matt had mentioned we've measured it. We have various production studies head to head. I would encourage you to reach to the dealer, and the CAT region team can help show that information on what we've measured in the field from an efficiency standpoint. We are confident in the cost per ton advantage of the 785 mechanical drive in this size class. And you can see that in study after study, and also in the 5,200 trucks that have been purchased and operating out there in the world. It's definitely leading in size class.
All right, I think we got a time for a few more. And the questions around, I think, assembly. I know the truck is delivered in parts. Can any welder assemble the body?
Yeah, so the body is definitely welded together. We provide instructions for that, and that's available in our SIS system. So there are detailed instructions on how to assemble it. When you say any welder, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Guy first day on the job might be challenged just because I'm confident that with our instructions and dealer support, it shouldn't be any issue to assemble the body on site once it arrives. And we do offer factory assembly as well. We have a number of different shipping configurations. So we can do a 4-piece, a 3-piece, or a 2-piece, which would be body assembled without canopy, and then fully assembled, including canopy. So if your logistics in your region allow, we recommend to go with the fully assembled option. Generally, that's most cost effective, and we've got the ability to weld it together in the factory, in the figure, so everything fits just exactly perfect. So your question.
All right. I think this one kind of goes, and we may have already answered this one. Any production studies available for the 785?
Yeah, we have. We have some, and I'll just mention real quick before Steve does that we do have some production studies on the models that we have over the past year on the G model versus some of our competition. So those were done some time ago, but still apply because it's the same drive system as what we had on the G model. We expect some additional few improvements based on our new technology offerings on this particular truck. And maybe anything beyond that, Steve, sounded like you had a comment as well.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I think you covered that well, actually. We have applicable studies, and then we can show the theoretical improvement that we've analyzed and are quite confident in with the new models. And then we will seek to run studies as well with the next gen model.
All right. I think we've got one couple that we may have already talked about, but would be good to re-emphasize. What's the target cost per hour for this truck?
Yeah, as far as, I'm sorry, can you read that one more time, Dana? The target cost per hour for this truck. I know that might be a calculation that you need to do. Yeah, that's exactly right. I think that's something that would have to be calculated for specific applications. And that's certainly something that we work with you on. I'm not going to give any numbers. I don't have any good numbers off the top of my head, but you're right. That's something we would look at by looking at the specific site applications, depending on your haul road application, payload, and such. I think some of those numbers can be worked out.
Yeah, we have the full capability working with the region and dealer teams to model that and absolutely encourage you to engage us to do so. It will be an improvement over the previous generation, which is exciting, but we have the tools to be able to model that.
All right. We've got, looks like another truck body question for Josh. Customers will often install sideboards on the truck body. Do you see that being an issue with the larger tires?
No, I really don't. Typically, sideboards are installed to increase capacity, of course. Basically, if we find that we missed the mark on our density calculation, we may need to add some sideboards to increase the capacity. But I don't see that being an issue with the tires as long as we stay within that 10-10-20 window. That shouldn't be any negative impact on the tires at all.
All right. Another one maybe around component life here. Any guidance in terms of target life components?
Sorry to be so generic with this again, but I think that's, we do have that information and we work that out on a part-by-part basis throughout the drivetrain and the entire truck. So yes, we have some estimated numbers that we expect on each of those components. Again, we work with you on going through those. I think our product support team is very familiar with those and can quickly address those questions about the individual component lives and rebuild times, et cetera. Yes.
Yeah, and I think I'll add to that, Matt. That's correct. And at risk of being generic, I understand the comment there. The one of the KPIs, the key performance indicators, and how we design these trucks is component durability. So I mentioned up front safety, productivity, reliability, cost, and that component piece is a big element of the cost. So we have absolutely designed the truck with that in mind and expect as we integrate these trucks into existing fleets, which is often the case, that you should have as good or better experience with component life, but do engage the dealers to talk about what that means for your application.
All right, I think we have time for one more before we wrap up here. And hopefully, Matt, this is an easy one for you. How many 785s do we have running worldwide?
Yeah, for 785s, I think we put our current number around the 3,000 mark. So it's a little over 3,000, I believe is what it is.
All right. Well, and hopefully after this webinar, we're going to increase that number, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, that's about all we have time for. So we're going to wrap up our program here. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed our program. And if you have any further questions, please reach out to your local CAT dealer, or you can go to cat.com/785 for more information. As well, you can always connect with us online. We have several e-newsletters and our social media channels. You can subscribe to our CAT mining newsletter or Viewpoint Mining Online. As well, you can go to cat.com/mining for more information on additional products and services from Caterpillar. And of course, we'd love for you to connect with us on our social media channels like Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. All right, well, that wraps up our portion of the webinar. Again, thanks for joining. Stay safe and stay productive.